have a drink. All the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
I didn't do it.
Why not?
The whole thing's been wrong from the beginning. I feel dirty.
Is there anything I can do? Please, Dix, can't you relax for a second?
My name is Neff, Walter Neff. I was thinking about that dame upstairs and the way she had looked at me.
He's looking at you, kid.
Yesterday, this would have meant so much to us. Now it doesn't matter.
What can I tell you, kid? You're right. You're right.
Welcome to the Speakeasy Noir Cast, a podcast discussing film noirs of yesterday and neo-noirs of today. Each week, we're going to deliver a discussion of our analysis of classic noir films, and occasionally we'll interview up-and-coming directors and writers of new neo-noir films, all mixed in with our unintelligible banter. Your hosts for the show, Jason D. Morris and Carly Street.
Oh, so much unintelligible banter that we have going on, don't we? I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, gibberish.
Maybe.
Most of the time. Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should have a gibberish warning. You know, like with a spoiler alert, we should have like gibberish alert.
Incoming gibberish. Maybe we should. I don't know. We'll have too many warnings, I think, in this show.
Oh, you're going to have a Carly moves her headset like alert as well.
Yeah. Boom. I think everybody can hear that coming.
I mean, yeah. Because I'm going to do it now. Hold on.
Surprisingly, didn't hear anything.
Did you not hear it? Did you not hear me gulp my coffee?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did notice that I'm constantly like breathing as I talk. Like, there needs to be an automatic breath removal tool. But,
It probably
so
is.
how you
We just
been?
don't know where it is.
Right.
Cold.
Cold. Is it cold out there? Yeah.
Oh, we're on our third storm. I've lost track now. One of them I think was called Eugene, Storm Eugene. This one I think begins with an F. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of rain.
Oh man. So just keep on, naming them till you run out of names, I guess, huh?
Yeah, but they're all boring names. It's like if I was going to name a storm, it'd be like Storm Thunderbolt. Boo! Not Storm Nicole.
I don't know. I think Storm Nicole would be a little less threatening than, would you say Thunderbolt?
Yeah. Thunderdome, Thunderbolts, Thunder something.
I think I'd be moving underground.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, the weather warning would mean something then, wouldn't it?
I guess it would. Yeah. Oh, man. So does it snow where you're at, or is it just rain?
It's just rain.
Okay. All right. Well,
And I'm really annoyed because there's rubbish in my garden and it looks like I've put the rubbish there and I haven't. We've got like milkshake bottles, we've got like sausage roll packets and all sorts of shenanigans.
yeah, the wind's a bitch. We get that too. I don't know why. It seems like we're the only house in the neighborhood where trash like blows into. I think people are just like throwing it over into our yard. It's so weird.
We are the same, and it doesn't help that we've got a Christmas tree that we were supposed to move that's fell over, so that's sprawled across the front. And then there's just like sausage roll wrappers everywhere.
That's funny
We
because
don't look like good
have
neighbours.
I also have a Christmas tree sitting on the side of my yard.
Do you?
Oh my God, we were so bad. One year, I don't think we took it down to like July.
Until it shriveled up. I think that's dead, Shoni. Let's take that away.
Yeah, I mean, like you touched it and all the pine needles fell off. It was crazy. It was so brittle. Oh, thank God. I'm not a Christmas person, but anyway. So let's see, Carly. Tonight's drink is called Something Sinister.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. And Something Sinister's ingredients are 2 ounces of St. George green chili vodka.
Ew.
1 ounce of lime juice, 3/4 ounce of real mango puree, and a lemon peel for garnish. And this looks like Nickelodeon slime.
Ew.
It's very green and it looks like thick, slimy goo. When I was a kid,
does it look like flubber?
Yeah, kind of, but not translucent, right? So do you know who He-Man is? You remember He-Man?
Yeah.
The cartoon? Okay, so when I was a kid, right, in the 80s, like I had this He-Man castle that came with like this green slime for like this little moat thing inside the castle where you could like kill Skeletor, and it came with like this nasty green slime that would just dry and look like dried snot all over the place. But that's what this drink looks like. Yeah, right.
Why? Why would anybody want to consume that? Oh, it looks like snot. Cheers.
Right? That's what it looks like. Garnished with a pretty little lemon peel.
Ew.
But that's kind of, I thought it went pretty well with the movie for tonight because, it's a very underbelly world kind of film with a lot of dark grossness to it, and that's just kind of what this drink makes me think of. So, everyone at home, let's see if you can stomach the something sinister drink and check out tonight's trailer.
Ask you simple questions. You will answer in short sentences only what you believe to be absolute truth.
Absolute truth. I can do that.
Now, brief as you can. What is your name?
Stanton Carlisle.
Are you a true medium?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Carlisle.
Doctor, how about that?
Please lie down.
Can you read minds?
Yes, I can. Under the right circumstances.
Keep your answers brief.
What do I want?
To be found out, same as everybody else.
Are you in contact with the beyond?
Well, we've had our share of snake charmers in the past. We deal with them.
You don't fool people, Stan. They fool themselves.
I've given you a fortune. It's time that you delivered.
When does it end? I want to know.
If you displease the right people, the world closes in on you very, very fast.
Willem Dafoe, not William Dafoe, as people like to say. Richard Jenkins, Rooney Mara, Ron Perlman, Mary Steinberg, and David Strathairn. Carly, getting into this movie, did you watch the original 47 film first, or had you seen this new version? And have you read the book?
I haven't read the book, and I watched the original first, then watched this.
Okay. So experiencing it in that order, like what did you think of Del Toro's adaptation of the book?
I preferred it a lot more.
Did you really? Why?
Yeah, I did. Because the bits because my issue originally with the film was the bits that weren't in the carnival weren't interesting to me. But it didn't grip me as much because it felt like a completely different change of pace. But with this one, I actually liked them in equal measure because I quite liked the little, kind of like the little heisty thing that he had going on. It felt more like dangerous, and he felt more like he was, I don't know, I really it might be to do with the scenes as well. The scenes didn't seem long, and these, like when he was doing his psychic moments, they were impressive. Each scene was impressive, not monotonous.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I didn't feel the same way as you at all.
Oh.
Yeah, not in the least.
But can I tell you my synopsis? Because I think you're going to like it.
Yeah, I guess we should probably do the synopsis. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like it after.
I mean, maybe you won't, to be honest.
I don't think I will. No, actually, I always like your synopsis, so by all means. And now it's time for Carly's super famous in a nutshell synopsis.
The Green Goblin starts a torture academy.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's hilarious. Bring out the geek.
Bring out the geek. Taser the geek. Stop feeding the geek. Set fire to the geek. I mean, it was a little bit more extreme. If he'd have suited up on a glider, I would not have been surprised, to be honest.
Now is your first experience with him from Spider-Man?
No, Speed 2.
No. Speed 2, okay. What you hated
Speed
that
2
movie,
Cruise Control, where he's being a lunatic on a boat.
I completely forgot he was in that movie.
His eyes were so wide. I remember seeing the trailer thinking, why were his eyes so wide? Now I know.
Yeah. He's a great actor, though. He's
I like him.
Man. Yeah.
I like him.
He was definitely perfect for the Green Goblin.
Yes.
And did you see the new Spider-Man movie?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Yeah.
Marvel tried to fox me, but I saw their clue in their trailer. They tried to fox me. No. I see the glove. I see what's going on there.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, but all right.
Yep.
I don't follow the Marvel world too close, so I just I just kind of like had a feeling it was going to be a Spider-Verse thing. But,
well, they tried to tell me that Andrew Garfield was not there. Well, I know Andrew Garfield's there because I can sense it because I like Andrew Garfield and I know where he is. And his hand's there.
Couldn't really care less about him. I really was hoping Tobey Maguire was going to be in it.
I mean, he was boring, so don't care.
Okay.
Yep. I can sniff Andrew Garfield out in a film within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, Andrew Garfield might not be happy about that, but I
usually can too, and those are the movies that I stay away from.
Oh, that's harsh. I'm going to round up my posse of Andrew Garfield fans. There's lots of them now, all of a sudden.
Are there really?
I mean, yeah, they're all coming out the woodwork. I've always loved Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. No, you didn't. You hate it. So
yeah, I'm not a huge. I mean, he's okay. I liked what was that movie? Was he in Fury?
I like the war one. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Hacksaw Ridge.
I don't know. Hacksaw Ridge? No.
Hacksaw Ridge?
No. Maybe, I don't know. Wasn't that?
No. Wait, I did watch war.
I think maybe I was thinking of Heartbreak Ridge. That was Clint Eastwood. Hacksaw Ridge is a newer film. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember, but he's okay. Like I don't have a problem with him. But yeah, I think Tobey Maguire was my favorite Spider-Man. I think he felt old enough for the role and still had that sort of boyish like Spider-Man charm from the comics. Like I really felt like he was a perfect fit, as to where like Garfield was, I don't know, just kind of bland for me. And I don't know. And it was kind of rehashing stuff that we've already seen.
Yeah, it was a little bit unnecessary to redo it all. I didn't think that was necessary, but
I didn't. Yeah. And that was probably my biggest issue. But then with the Tom Holland version, I'm like, this is like a child.
Yeah, he's too kidding. Get back to school. What are you doing swinging around? Get in your class.
So young. And then we went and saw Uncharted last night, which he's in, and Mark Wahlberg.
Strange.
And I'm like, I feel like Mark Wahlberg's had some like work done to his face, because I've seen him in other stuff. More recently, and he's full on wrinkles and stuff. In this movie, like he had no wrinkles. I don't know if he's filled with Botox or something, but Tom Holland had more wrinkles than him.
Oh, I want it.
and Tom Holland's like, that's the age he is, and like his persona in that film would have been much better for Spider-Man. So I think that like any future films with him, he'll feel more like the role should have been, in my opinion. But who am I? I'm not a huge comic book movie fan per se, but I haven't seen them all or anything, but
Well, you still have your 10 pence worth.
yeah, I guess so. We'll always have opinions. So anyway, back to Nightmare Alley. Thanks for that Green Goblin tangent there.
It's okay. You're welcome.
Yeah. So as far as like the differences in this film, because we start out seeing this movie with some backstory that we didn't get in the original. How did that make you feel? Because I have strong opinions about this movie, some good and some bad. So I'm super curious in hearing your opinions on how this movie plays out and why you liked it, opposed to just shoveling all of my negativity onto you. So tell me how you felt about watching this film, comparing it to the original version.
I quite liked it. I liked a little bit. I could have taken it or leaving it because it's quite a long film anyway. That's the only thing that like drags. But I liked at the end. Should we do like a spoiler alert? Because this is quite new.
Sure.
Before I open my trap and go at the end.
Yeah, I mean the book's 100 years old and the original movie is like 100 years old. So I mean, right?
Okay, never mind. So when he's at the end and like you see that he killed his dad, well, let his dad die basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's little bits like that to make him more of a bastard overall. Because I didn't really care that he became the geek. I found it quite amusing.
Right, and that's sort of like
I sided with Kate Blanchett, if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, she's just as bad though. Like I don't. That's
but she's so good though.
Yeah, that's sort of like my problem with this film. Like I feel like the script is terrible. I think it's a terrible script, and I haven't read the book, so maybe it's really close to the source material. I do, from what I understand. Maybe. I mean, as far as my opinion goes, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, as far as I go, if the book is in line with the film, it's not something that I think that I would enjoy, because like I want to root for somebody, and there's nobody in this film to really root for, except for what is it, Rooney Mara's character? Is that?
See, I wasn't rooting for her. I could have done without her. I want Kate Blanchett to stab him in the face.
But why? She's just as evil. Like, I don't understand.
I know, but I like Kate Blanchett, and if she was stabbing somebody in the face, there's got to be a reason for it.
Okay,
or she does it in style.
So you have this problem with separating an actor from a role. You act like the actor is the role, and it's like, come on, like she's also in a million other movies, like, but she plays a conniving, evil person in this movie. Like, and you really want her to win?
Well, yeah, she does it so well, and plus Bradley Cooper's character is so smarmy.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
he's a smarmy, and he thinks he's so good and clever, and he's not.
I mean, he is, really, because...
Well, he is, but he's not as clever as Kate Blanchett's character, is he?
Well...
She nearly takes his ear off, so...
Nearly, though. Nearly.
I mean, most of the ear's gone, let's be honest.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like... I just feel like there's nobody to really root for in this film, and that's my biggest issue. And even the original one sort of had that kind of feeling as well, but... not having those opening scenes with the backstory and things like that, I think helped to sympathize with the lead character, and especially the particular plot point that I'm not sure if it was closer to the book or not, or if this was a script choice in one film or the other. But in the original film, he accidentally gives him the alcohol, and in the new film, he purposely is trying to kill him. So that those little nuances in the 47 film gave me some leeway to care about this dude and to want to watch. As where this film from the very beginning, like I'm just like, why do I want to watch this? Like I couldn't find any reason to care about anybody in the movie. Like I did not care. And the only thing that kept me watching really was the cinematography was pretty good. And even that wasn't fantastic. Because there's plenty of
like places where I feel like they could have done better, but the cinematography was pretty good. And then there's particularly the Cate Blanchett scenes in her office, which are extremely well shot and very noirish. That looked really beautiful. But that was really the only thing that kept me like watching. And I love Del Toro. I think I love all of his movies. And even when he had major, length issues with like King Kong, and that's really like two movies in one kind of thing. I really enjoyed that film like a lot. I thought it was very well done, as to where this film is just overtly long, and he didn't find a way to make the audience care. So like, you tell me, like, why did you care about Cate Blanchett in this movie? Why'd you care about her character? Like, what made you like side with her? What made you want? Just because she was the less of two evils? Because Bradley.
And you made me watch the film, so I have to get to the end.
So this wasn't like you folding laundry like the last movie?
No. No.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know.
Well, and also, I was thinking Bradley Cooper's not that bad in this. That took me by surprise as well.
No, I don't think he's a bad actor. I don't know.
I find him quite boring. I find that his roles are quite boring. He seems to play the same version of himself over and over again. Maybe I'm just not watching the right films.
I think he's okay. I don't think he's like a standout actor or anything. But
take him or leave him.
Yeah, I feel like I like some of his movies because of the movie, not necessarily because of him. Like Midnight Meat Train. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's a pretty crazy movie I thought was pretty good. But again, he's nothing special in it, but it was a good movie. And even like The Hangover or something like that, which is hilarious. It's not really hilarious because of him though,
No.
So I'm not, he's okay, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot better actors. Like they surrounded him with some really good actors, Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, Ron Perlman, Mary Steinberg. I mean, David Strathairn is like, I mean, if they were going to pick somebody to play, I can't remember Stan, or I can't remember the character's name, but if they were going to pick somebody to play that role, I mean, they really hit the nail on the head with that one. He was perfect for, if they were, even if it was a remake or something like that, like he looked like the original actor, had the same sort of like style to him and everything. So that was perfect casting. And obviously Ron Perlman works with Del Toro a lot. So that was excellent casting as well. And I mean, I just feel like there's certain characters like Ron Perlman's character. It just, there wasn't enough. Like they talk about them developing the script and like fleshing out characters more and that sort of thing. And I really don't think that they did that as well as they feel like they did, especially for a movie that's as long as it is.
Yeah. Time is against it, isn't it?
It really is. And there's just some very unnecessary things, in the film that just like bugs me, the backstory with the father, like it doesn't matter because it doesn't really come into play. It really doesn't do anything for the character. It doesn't do anything for the story. It's just sort of there. And so I don't see the purpose of that backstory. If it's in the book, I mean, okay, but it doesn't mean that it needed to be in the movie because I just personally just don't, it was pointless. Because we already hate the dude. I mean, if you're just going to set up the movie to like dislike this person, I mean, right away, I'm just like, why am I watching it? There's no redeeming qualities. And he never redeems himself throughout the entire fucking movie.
No, he just gets more and more in a spiral, doesn't he?
Yeah. So it's like, it's really like pointless to me, I mean, this is our lead characters who we're supposed to be following. There's nothing there. There's zero story arc for this man, in my opinion. And that's the whole point of watching films to me, like is a story arc. And there really isn't. And I feel like that's where he sort of made that sort of miss as far as like doing a noir film. It's like he only focused on the negativity, only focused on
the darkness. He only focused on the underground, you know. He only looked at the seedy aspects of noir. And I'm not saying it needed to have a happy ending or anything. I'm not saying anything like that. But when you're following like a movie, like a noir film, like you care about the character because he's down and out, because he wants something better. He wants, you know, he wants to strive to be a better person or something like that, but he's just sort of locked into this scenario, or things are happening to him that are out of his control. And this film is like everything he's doing is his fault. You know, every aspect is his own doing. And it's just, I don't know, it got tiresome to me. Probably like my long-winded speech here.
I'm really surprised. I thought that you would have really enjoyed it. I don't know why.
I really thought I was going to as well. I was very excited to see this film. And I had seen it before I saw the original. And I went to the theater on the Thursday opening night.
Wow.
And yeah, I was really excited to see it. Because I like Del Toro's work. I was excited he's doing a noir film. Obviously we do this podcast. It was perfect. And I just, you know, he's a great director, but I think he's overtly indulgent. You know, I feel like, sometimes he gets too close and can't step back and see the big picture. And I think that is sort of like what happens with the running length of the film. I think that's what happens, because some of the scenes are like great on their own, but when you look at it as like the whole picture, it's just, I feel like, he started
2.5
out
hours of my life have gone and I can't get them back.
Well, yeah, I feel like I was constantly like waiting for the, you know, redemption factor that's not happening, and it never comes. And then you're just kind of feeling let down at the end of the movie. And I just, when you watch a film like that, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, you just, I mean, that's like sitting there and having a window into hell. Like, are you going to sit there and watch that for 2 hours? Like, what would be the point? You know, like, hey, I think I want to make myself feel shitty today. Let me go open my window to hell and
let's go and have a look through the portal, shall we?
Yeah. And that's what it feels like. There's nothing, you know, and that really kind of bugged me quite a bit, apparently.
I can tell. Yeah.
But, you know, you enjoyed it much more than the original. And okay, so you have like these I don't know, psychic scenes and whatnot, which I thought still had the same problem as the original. I still felt like they were a little overly long. I still felt like we only needed to see 2 of those tops and end the story, moving on. So there was a little bit more in there than needed to be. But it was probably a little more concise than the original film.
I found the office exchanges a little bit. They were the ones that sort of dragged out a little bit for me.
Office exchanges, meaning,
yeah,
like,
you know, where he was talking to Kate Blanchett and trying to convince her to come on board, and then I thought they were a little bit, except the last one, which was fantastic when she tried to blow his face off. That was great. But the other ones were a little bit, you know, with the back and forth. There was a little bit too much back and forth.
Yeah, but
I preferred the psychic sort of showman scenes.
Yeah, so I felt kind of the same with the psychic scenes. Like, I didn't think that they were really any better or any worse. You know, I was kind of indifferent about it. You know, it really kind of just felt like the same stuff. You know, the dialogue just didn't really like. I don't know. Like, the problem I had with the original was like when the whole code is based on dialogue and being able to understand what the objects are based on what the person says to them. And I just felt like it had the same issues as the original. Like, the concept is smarter than the mechanics of what they did in the script to make it seem smart, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like they should have spent a little more time on the dialogue mechanics to make that feel like it was something real. But what do I know? I'm not a psychic, magician, charlatan.
Con man, murderer.
Right. Well, I might be there. No. So I don't know. I was kind of indifferent with those. They still have the same sort of issues for me. I feel like I feel like Rooney Mara's character in this movie might have been a lot smarter and left a lot sooner. And would have seen this sort of coming from a mile away kind of thing. Because it's, again, I really think the length of the movie is a big downfall, which ultimately comes to the script. The script, in my opinion, was not a great script. And that's really where I think
her character was a little bit more forceful. She was a little bit more forceful, but only in like one scene.
Yeah, her character was stronger. I do agree with you on that. And until, of course, like the whole ghost scene. Again, I had the same problem with the ghost scene as I do the original. It was just kind of, I don't know, like to be a big, like sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it a plot twist really, but it's just sort of like it's a plot twist for the characters. But I don't know. I think the audience can see that kind of crap coming a mile away. But it just, I don't know. It all was just kind of flat for me, I guess. Unfortunately, with great performances, great cinematography, the music was good. Everything else about the film I thought was pretty solid, but I think the script was really a downfall. Its length, just overindulgent, from the director, really sort of, made it unspecial to me, Like maybe I wanted it to be more than it was.
Maybe you were looking so forward to it that it was just never going to match.
Yeah, maybe that could be it. I don't know. Yeah, and I think my biggest issues really is that the way it's set up. It's like you see this backstory, right? Which it ultimately becomes unnecessary to me anyway. I don't think it was necessary at all. And then like stupid little scenes like the Toni Collette like hand job in the tub thing. That's just like,
yeah, that was a bit weird.
Yeah, I just like stuff like that. I was just like, that was so unnecessary. Like, I don't know. It just felt so out of place, and that didn't even seem like normal for like Del Toro to do. Like, I don't know. I just don't understand why that's in there. Like, okay, he's setting up this relationship and I guess doing it quickly, but I mean, it just could have been done 100 ways, and he picked probably
then like not a lot was really made out of that anyway.
No, and that's part of the, like, I don't know.
Because it was the husband that he was actually like learned, not her.
Right.
So yeah, that didn't really need to work like that, because they could have just been, he's taken a shine to him, like a bit of a father-son. That would have worked exactly the same way.
Yeah, there would have been no different. The only difference would have been like she's not having a lover kind of thing. She's not cheating on her husband, or you know what I mean? Like that's probably a storyline from the book and kind of ties all that love triangle sort of thing up in a nice little bow. And I get that, but just that scene was just like, I don't know, unnecessary. And it's not like it was an erotic thriller. It's not like they really did anything more like that in the rest of the film. So it just feels so out of place once you get to the end of the movie. You're just like, that one scene, that was just like, why was that even there kind of thing? Because there's nothing else in the, if it's like, if you're watching a movie where there's like several scenes like that, then the director is kind of, okay, they're making kind of a film of that kind of style. Right. And it becomes part of the story. That was a very gentle
euphemism.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like, but that's the thing. Like, it would be in there more otherwise. And it's like, well, why is it even? Because it's not even shocking. It's not even like a shock value scene. It's not like you see anything, but it's just like a weird sort of out of place moment. And I just felt like there's a lot of that in this script. I feel like if there was an hour and a half version of this movie, I'd probably really love it.
Yeah.
Like but I just, even when they re-released it like in black and white, I'm like, that is not enough to get me to watch it again. Like I really like that would get me to watch Logan again, which I haven't seen that black and white version, but I wouldn't watch this again just because it's in black and white. That's just silly. Like the cinematography was good as it is. The coloring and all that kind of stuff looked great. It doesn't need to like feel any more noir to me. Like they nailed the noir look and the feel of it without it being in black and white. But I don't think they nailed the story or the script or the characters. There's no arcs. There's nothing like it just doesn't, everybody's the same from the beginning to the end in this movie.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of character development, is there?
Not at all.
Except in like the last 5 minutes.
Well, even that I don't think is really character development because, I mean, it's like, what's the line? He says, I was born for this.
Yeah, the line's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than the original.
I can't remember. The original was like, I was made for this or something like that. Or they changed it for a reason. And from what I remember reading, neither of those lines is in the actual book, but they're both fitting. And they both make sense, and I get why it's there, but changing it, I don't think mattered as much as they sort of play it out to be. Like I just don't. To me, it's a negative. Like even to have that because it's just again, there's just no story arc. He's the same person he was at the beginning as he is at the end. And he's just sort of succumbing to his fate, which isn't really an arc. I don't know. But so I don't know. So, I feel like I'm just slamming the shit out of this movie, but.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I really, really thought that you were going to like it. Like genuinely thought you were going to like it.
Yeah. And I guess so did I, and you know what I thought was interesting is that, cause we were talking about, Bradley Cooper. Did you catch who was originally supposed to play his character? Did you come across that?
No.
Oh, so it was originally Leonardo DiCaprio was going to play that character.
Oh God.
Right. So I mean, I was pretty indifferent to both of because I never liked DiCaprio. The only thing I really liked him in was Shutter Island, which I love that film. But
I like him in Inception, but that's just because anybody could have done that because it was a good idea. It was a good film. I don't think it relied a lot on him.
No, I think those scenes that he's in with his wife and, I think that those are really great scenes. I think he does a good job. I'm not saying he's like a bad actor, but for years and years and years, it was sort of the same as Tom Holland. Like he just seemed too young for the roles he was in, and now he's a little older. He's still, he still looks like a young kid with wrinkles now.
You are just wrinkling everybody, aren't you? Everybody's on your wrinkle list.
That's right. But I don't know. I just never really liked him, but anyway, so he was originally supposed to play Bradley Cooper's role, but then I guess they switched gears. Del Toro met with Bradley Cooper and ended up really clicking with him because Cooper had also directed films, and so they shared this sort of like commonality and just got along better. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but another, I guess I feel like I'm probably not the only one who feels the way that I do about this movie. First off, neo-noirs are a shot in the dark, whether they're going to do well at the theater. Noirs very, in this day, even for the past 30 years have not typically done well in the theater. But then they're generally become like cult classics after the fact. It's like nobody wants to pay money to go see them in the theater, but then they end up loving them when they eventually see them. Right. And this film really is no different. It did really poorly at the theater. It only made about half of its budget back.
Wow.
It's a $60 million movie, which, by today's standards, that seems very low. For the look of the movie, like they did a great job as far as making it look expensive. Again, the cinematography, the production design, all that stuff is really great. And for a $60 million film, that's like something you would, that's like a horror film, by today's standards. That's kind of on the low budget side. And to only make back half of that, $33 million worldwide, is terrible. But, it's been nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, which I absolutely disagree with. But yeah, I don't think there's any way in hell that there should be a Best Picture nominated film. But whatever.
Can you imagine if you ever got put in charge of anything to do with the Academy Awards? You'd be like, right, do you know what? We're not starting with this year. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take you back to 1995 and we're going to correct our mistakes from there. So everybody get a pen, everybody get a piece of paper, and everybody get making some new statues because people are going to be giving shit back.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, they've made a lot of mistakes as far as that goes, but I'm pretty sure it's just a money machine. I'm pretty sure
it'd be like a hostage video where there'd be directors there tied to a chair and you're just telling them what to say. No, say that you're really, really sorry for robbing LA Confidential. You don't look sorry, James Cameron. I want tears.
No kidding. Yeah, that's definitely a film that got robbed. Yeah. What can you do?
Hope that you don't get put in charge of anything in about 5 years.
Yeah. One thing that I read that was pretty interesting, and I got to give Del Toro credit for this because he had the foresight to care enough about the cast and crew and the film to do this. So they started production at the beginning of 2020, and they were, I think, in maybe February, right? And as we all know, the world shut down mid-March. Mm-hmm. So a movie like this probably took, 6 months or so to shoot. I'm just guessing. But Del Toro said this. He said, "We stopped the shoot a week before the industry shut down, and that saved us. Nobody, to my knowledge, in the cast or crew got coronavirus." And then Del Toro later reflected that stopping was not mandatory back then, but we both felt if we don't stop now and someone gets sick, we got to stop. Nobody was expecting it. Everybody went to lunch and came back 6 months later.
Wow.
And then Walt Disney Studios, who's the parent company for Searchlight, who was financing the movie, didn't halt production for another a month and a half after I think they said it was 2 weeks later that things started shutting down. But I think it was a little bit longer before the film industry really kind of shut down. And I'm not sure why, but I seem to remember it was like a week or so after everything else kind of shut down or whatever. It was about 3 weeks or so. I think I said a month and a half, but it wasn't that long.
Wow.
But I think that was really, really kind of cool that he did that and started hearing about this. And because that could be devastating. People are dying, and I know that they have, insurance riders on actors in case of they die. But that tells me that this was less about money and finances, and he's really cared about his cast and crew. And I think that's pretty cool. While everybody else is like,
nice,
no, we got to get this finished. We got to get this finished before anything bad happens. He's like, whoa, we'll pick it back up when it's safe, kind of thing. Yeah. So that's very respectful, and I think that's pretty cool. Even if he did fail,
I agree.
On the movie to me.
Even if the movie's crap, the thought was there.
Yeah. And I think that there's a polarizing sort of commentary out there about this movie. There's a camp that really likes it and a camp that really dislikes it. I think it's one of those films where there's really not too much in between. So I don't know. People at home, you're going to have to let us know what you think about this compared to the 1947 film and compared to the book if you've seen it before. Or seen it before if you've read the book before. Because neither of us have read the book. No, I don't blame you. I see books.
I see books everywhere.
I don't read them, I see them.
Oh, God.
Now we hear them because we got audiobooks, which is crazy. But yeah, I really got onto audiobooks for a while. Anyway, tangent.
It's like the Goblin all over again.
I feel like we probably talked 20 minutes about Marvel and 20 minutes about this film.
Maybe.
All right, Carly, let's give a rating. I'm curious what you're going to give this one. I believe you gave the 47 film a 5.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
A 5 or a 6, I think.
Yeah. And I think I was only like 1 above you, if I recall. I can't remember. We'd have to go back and listen to our own voices, which neither of us will do, I'm sure.
No.
And yet we expect our audience to listen to our bullshit.
I know.
How grating is it,
guys.
All right. So what's your rating on this film?
Do you know what? 7.
Shit, I almost spit my coffee out. Really? 7?
I mean, calm down.
All right.
Yeah, 7, because I liked it. I wouldn't watch it again, really, I don't think. I wouldn't go out my way to watch it again.
And you wouldn't watch the 47 version either, right?
No, but I didn't dislike it, and I didn't find it as mind-numbingly boring in comparison. Because I watched one after the other as well. So it's like 4 hours that I lost.
On movies you didn't really like. Well, I mean, a 7 is like, I mean, that says you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it better than the original one.
I would say like maybe a 6 is I liked it but wouldn't watch it again, and a 7 is like I liked it and I would probably watch it again.
Well, no, because 10 is like Sharknado, and we all know how this argument ends when I give things 10 out of 10. So I'm actually being more stricter on my 10 out of 10s now.
Yeah, the higher rating you give it, the worse the movie is.
No, now that we've gone to a weekly show, I'm not going to throw out as many 10s. So if it's 10, it's like, whoa.
That's no Sharknado.
That is the standard. That's the gold standard they live by. Well, it's not Titanic 2.
That sunk.
It bloody did, man. It blew up, actually, I think.
Apparently twice.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give this movie a 4.
Oh, wow, that's really low.
Yeah, because I would not watch it again. And if I did watch it again, I'd probably watch it on mute and skip just to watch for some of the cinematography.
Make it a silent film, effectively.
Yeah. I mean, because, I used to do that in film school. That's how you would study certain things, is you'd watch a movie on mute so that you could pay attention to the visuals.
Okay.
For like cinematography classes or production design classes, things like that. It helps out a lot. And I think that it's fantastic in terms of the cinematography and the production design. There's a lot of fantastic lighting in the film, and just Art Deco and just details in the movie that I just think are just really great. And that's each one of those things I give it a star for, a bottle of gin for. And on the I'm going to wrap my head around the gin versus stars, but. I know I'm terrible. But where I think it absolutely fails is I think it fails with the script. Firstly, I think it's just overly long. I think that they did not do a great job at any sort of character arcs or even tried. And I think that was part of the thing. I think that's really a basis for it. I don't think that they wanted to do that. And I feel like it needed it. It needed somebody to root for, something to root for. And it's just not there. Like we don't care about anybody in this movie. And it just, it's not that because the movie was too dark, darkness is fine, but you got to have something to care about, when you're watching something like that, especially something as long as this film is. Otherwise, like I said, it's just like opening a window to hell and staring at it for 2.5 hours. Who wants to do that? That's pulling fingernails.
Staring at it for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It's not fun. Like there's no fun in that. So you got to find the pleasure in it. And the pleasure comes from the cinematography and production design, honestly. And that's it. I will probably never watch this film again. And that's probably the only Del Toro film that I'll never watch again. But I mean, that's not, he had to get it out of system. He's wanted to make a noir film. He made it, and a $60 million film at that. That's getting critical acclaim and, nominated for Oscars and things like that. So what the fuck does my opinion matter?
That's probably what he thinks as he listens to our podcast and cries into his soup.
Exactly. But hey, you know what? Dark City, 10 gens, right? Nightmare Alley, 4 gens. So there you have it, folks. That's it. So we hope that you guys at home enjoy this more than I did. We hope you enjoy it more than Carly did, because even though she rated it higher, she wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't watch it again. I did prefer the original over it. I felt like there at least was a glimmer of hope in that film. There was something to relate to in that film. There's nothing really to relate to in Del Toro's film other than greed, and power, I guess, which are kind of one and the same. And that's unfortunate to me. But maybe you guys will feel differently. Maybe you can let us know what you think and, open our eyes as to why this is a good film, or a better film than at least I think it is. All right. Enjoy your something sinister, slimy goo while you watch a really slimy, schmarmy Bradley Cooper in Nightmare Alley.
He is slimy goo, isn't he, really?
Yeah, he is. He really is. So I really think I picked the perfect drink for that, because he is slimy, gooey, sinister. He's just a bad person, A
gooey bad person.
Yeah. All right, guys. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
He's looking at you, kid.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Speakeasy Noircast. Make sure to visit our website, resurrectionfilms.net, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, or any of your favorite podcast apps so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, The Dark Side of Acting Up and The Dark Side of Acting Up Volume 2, now available on Amazon. Or you can check out one of our films, also available on Amazon Prime. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of the Speakeasy Noircast.